Welcome back to Kate and the Place and my travels around Malaysia. Join me as I travel north through winding roads to the Cameron Highlands. On arrival, I checked into this cool hostel and got some local Indian food. Well, you would think with this get-up and with this weather that I was back in Ireland, but that is not true. I'm still in Malaysia. I arrived this afternoon to the Cameron Highlands, and why I'm here is because I am curious. The Cameron Highlands looks just like England. Apparently they get a lot of visitors from the UK as well, and Ireland. The guy at the restaurant there told me that they get a lot of Irish, English, Scottish people and things like that. And you know what? It's a nice break from the heat and humidity. I'm not sweating for the first time in 10 days, which is good. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. Basically, I want to see, is it as like England as people say it is? Let's find out. The climate is so different here because, as Highlands would suggest, we're very high up. I'm in the town right now of Tanah Rata, which is the main centre for tourism anyway in the area. So there's lots of guest houses, restaurants, shops, but it's a pretty small town. Now, Cameron Highlands are known for their tea plantations, so afternoon tea is a big thing here. Tudor-style buildings, and yeah, it was built by the British. The Cameron Highlands are named after William Cameron, who was a British surveyor in the area, and he found this area in 1885, set up the tea plantations here, and the rest is history. This morning I'm doing a tour of some of the areas around Tanah Rata. You do need some kind of transport, so I'm doing a tour. I'm going to see a tea plantation, I'm going to see the Mossy forest, and something else that I can't remember. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's go. This place is so green. This is some of the tea plantations here, and it's just incredible views this morning. So peaceful. Definitely not England, but the green might remind you of England. I can see how the British settlers were so felt so at home here. Plus the weather is really nice.
The camellia sinensis do produce flower. So in other words, generally, a layman word, we say tea bush, the tea plant.
It was very interesting seeing how the workers at the plantation were collecting the tea leaves. Most of these workers are from Nepal or Bangladesh, and they get a working visa to come to Malaysia, where they stay in small community lodges. Next up, we took the bumpy road up to the Mossy forest, a cloud forest that is millions of years old. It is home to carnivorous plants and hundreds of different types of moss, ferns and lichen. So we're in the Mossy forest at the moment, and there's no view, but it's still very beautiful. So we're just after our tour of the tea factory here, which was self-guided. It was pretty short, but you weren't allowed to take photos or videos. But it was pretty cool seeing how they make the tea. There are 5 different stages to do it. So they dry the tea, they sort it, they ferment it, and these then depend on whether you want black tea, green tea, and so on. So yeah, I mean, I can see the kind of colonial influence there. Plus the tea here is the best I've had so far. It's really, really nice, and they have a lovely restaurant here as well, so you can grab lunch, grab a cup of the local tea, you can sample different teas, which is very important, and this is where they pick the tea, right behind us. So it is just fabulous, a really good trip.
In the afternoon, we headed back to the town of Tanah Rata.
I must say that I've spent the most incredible half-day morning checking out the sights here around the Cameron Highlands, and honestly so far it's nothing like what I expected. I thought it might be a little bit gimmicky, a little bit of something for maybe more local tourists who might think, oh, I want to go somewhere that looks like England, half afternoon tea, you know, go visit the strawberry farms, the tea plantations. The tea plantation was a small bit gimmicky, but it was more that it was just busy than anything. Honestly, the nature around here is so interesting, so incredible, and like nothing I've ever seen before. It's well worth a visit for that, and it's not actually gimmicky at all. Everything's very reasonable. So now I'm going on a little hike just outside the town of Tanah Rata here, so let's go see what kind of views we can find. So a lot of the trails here in Tanah Rata, and there are many, they're numbered trail 1 through 14 or something like that, of different heights and things like that. A lot of them start here in this park, I think, but now this looks a little bit gimmicky. This is the English Garden, I think. Little bit gimmicky, alright, but it is cute. It is still very pretty. The English cottage is quite big there. I don't think that's a cottage at all. This whole area is called Mardi, and it's an agro-technological park. So because the climate here is so mild compared to the rest of Malaysia, it's actually pretty easy to grow things. You see a lot of flowers here. It's the only place in Malaysia so far that I've seen any fresh fruit or vegetables. You can buy fresh fruit, especially strawberries, in stalls here. So is it trying to be English, or is it just the climate? Okay, it definitely is a bit gimmicky. There's like a little zoo, a petting zoo there, and everyone wants to get their photos taken with these, I guess, tea plants. I mean, they are pretty cool. God, I'm unfit. The altitude is high here, so that's what I'm going to blame it on. It's about 2,000 metres above sea level. That's 2 Carantuhals for the Irish people. So it's pretty high up here, so I am feeling a little out of breath. So I've spent ages now looking for the trailhead to Trail 5, one of the easier trails in the area here by Tanah Rata. No sign. I just got taken on a mad wild goose chase, and while the views were nice, it's not a trail. So I saw a sign somewhere over here for Trail 7. I'm going to give that a go, and I have maps.me as well. Very handy if you're going trekking or hiking, offline maps, which gives you the route and the elevation and things like that. So let's see if I can find Trail 7. Okay, here we go. Fingers crossed, here's hoping. It is a little bit muddy, a little bit slippery, so I might put the camera away. Luckily there are no mosquitoes in the Cameron Highlands. That's always a plus, but I think there are snakes. You know what? I don't love this. I'm doing this jungle hike here, and I don't know, the path is very overgrown. It's not great, it's very slippery, and I don't know, I don't feel like it's really worth it. So I'm actually going to turn around after all of that. It's just, the views aren't even that nice. It's just like, I don't know, I've had my jungle experience now, and I'm not loving it. I'm going to turn back, I'm afraid. So it just started raining, and I've stopped here at this strawberry farm. There's lovely strawberries growing right here, and you can get strawberry juice for €1. How bad? Oh, it's very sweet. Very sweet, but it's nice. Considering that strawberries are the other main thing that are grown here alongside tea, I said I had to give it a go. It is refreshing though. Cheers. So I took another trail, the most straightforward, the easiest one, and it's called trail number 4, and it takes you here, just outside the town, to Parrot Falls. Parrot? A waterfall. I've seen pictures online, it's not overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, it's a very small waterfall, but it's something. To be honest though, it's just off the main road. It seems like it's extremes here. You're either right on the main road or you're up some tiny little path that isn't safe, which is also right by the town. I don't know how to get out of the town. Maybe you should get a taxi and start somewhere else, I don't know. But this would be nice anyway, a little waterfall. Let's check it out. Okay, so I found the falls and they're not so bad. They're actually quite nice, and it's nice and refreshing and cool down here as well. The path keeps going, so I'm going to keep going a little bit, and yeah, it feels very much like nature here. I actually found a campsite just back there as well, so that's pretty cute. There definitely are people around. They're just not hiking right now. Fair enough. I think we're at the off season now as well. What a helpful sign. Thank you so much, helpful sign. So this morning I'm trying another hike, a short hike out to another waterfall, another day another waterfall, and today I'm going to the Robinson Falls, which is on Trail 9, which is only about half an hour outside the town. So far it's much easier to find, the path is better, and yeah, let's see if we can find this falls.
A few moments later.
Okay, truth time. The path has kind of disappeared. It's kind of dropped off there at the trail, and it looks a little bit dodgy again, I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen anyone else on these paths. Like, for something that's supposed to be all about hiking and things, yeah, I'm gonna leave it off. It's not worth it. There are actually snakes out here, and despite being told that there are no mosquitoes in the Cameron Highlands, I woke up covered in mosquito bites this morning, 7 new ones. So you know what, I said I'd go out just to have a little look, see if it was easy or not. It's not, and this waterfall, it's a lovely waterfall just there, and I really feel now like I'm out in nature. I'm about 20 minutes outside Tanarata. It's very beautiful here, and so I've got what I've come for. To be honest, when I look at my time here in Tanarata and in the Cameron Highlands, I came thinking it might be a bit of a gimmick, might be a tourist thing. Oh look, this is very English, you can drink your tea and pick strawberries and look at a lavender field and things like that. And there's a little bit of that, yeah, especially just in the town itself. But the outskirts of the town, the nature, it's so worth it. The climate is amazing. It is a jungle, but yes, you can have the tea plantations, the tea factory and things like that. A little bit touristy, but so fun, really interesting. I've actually learned a lot about how you make tea and about the wildlife, the flora and fauna here. So I must say, it's exceeded all expectations. Well done, Cameron Highlands. So I guess I'll see you in the next place.